Hey everyone, welcome back to Agile Unlocked. I'm Coach RL, and today we're talking about something that honestly, every Agile team needs to get real about: data. Not just any data, but the kind of team metrics that make or break transparency, alignment, and let's be honest, your ability to spot trouble before it turns into a 5-alarm fire. I know, metrics can sound dry, but stick with me. This is the stuff that keeps teams from flying blind. I mean, think about it. If you're not sharing your team's metrics, how do you know if you're actually improving or just spinning your wheels? It's non-negotiable. Transparency isn't just a buzzword. It's the difference between a team that can self-correct and one that's always playing catch up. And here's a question for you. Have you ever been totally blindsided by your team's metrics? Like you thought things were humming along and then bam, the numbers tell a different story. What did you do? I'll give you a real world example. I was working with a team using Jira and suddenly their velocity just tanked, like fell off a cliff. At first, everyone was scratching their heads thinking, did we just forget how to code overnight? But when we dug into the data, we realized half the stories were blocked. Missing test environments of all things. If we hadn't been looking at the metrics, we'd probably still be arguing about who broke the build. Data to the rescue. So yeah, sharing metrics isn't about micromanaging. It's about giving your team the info they need to steer the ship. And honestly, it saved my bacon more than once. Now let's talk about data radiators. If you're picturing a giant glowing dashboard in the middle of your office, you're not totally wrong, but it doesn't have to be that fancy. Data radiators are just visible displays of your team's key metrics. They can live in Jira, Rally, Clarity, or if you're old school like me, a massive wall chart, or even a scrappy Excel sheet. The point is, they're out in the open, not buried in some report nobody reads. I gotta tell you, back in the day, before dashboards were cool, my team had this enormous wall chart. We'd update it with sticky notes every day. It was a thing of beauty until the day someone opened a window and we had the great sticky note avalanche of 2014. I'm not kidding. We spent half the stand-up chasing metrics across the floor. But you know what? That wall chart sparked daily debates, sometimes heated, sometimes hilarious, about what the numbers actually meant. And that's the real power of a data radiator. It gets people talking. But here's a warning. Don't fall into the trap of comparing teams. I always say comparing teams is like comparing apples to lawnmowers. Each team is unique. Different products, different challenges, different definitions of done. There's a great tip in Essential Scrum about customizing your metrics to fit your product's reality. Don't just copy what the team next door is tracking. Make it yours. And remember, interpretation is a superpower. The numbers are just the start of the conversation, not the end. So what happens when teams actually use their data instead of just posting it on a wall and forgetting about it? That's where the magic happens. I've seen teams go from endless, unfocused retrospectives to laser-focused improvements just by digging into their own numbers. Suddenly, planning gets sharper, blockers get cleared faster, and most importantly, customers actually notice the difference. I mean, it's easy to get caught up in chasing the numbers, but the real goal is driving outcomes. There's this idea from Coaching Agile Teams by Lissa Adkins that I love. Data isn't a scorecard. It's a conversation starter. It's not about shaming or blaming. It's about learning. I've had teams use their metrics to spot patterns like, hey, every time we skip backlog refinement, our cycle time doubles. That's gold. And I want to hear from you. What's one way you've used data to actually improve your product or process? Share your stories, because that's how we all get better. All right, that's a wrap for today. Remember, it's not about the numbers. It's about what you do with them. Keep those metrics visible. Keep the conversations real, and I'll see you next time on Agile Unlocked.